I'm Absentduck, and today we are going to be making every type of wool. This is in the aftermath of my final Let's Play episode of Season 1, where after long looking around, we finally found some lapis. So, I'm going to use that lapis today, and I'm going to show you how you can make all the different types of wool, because it's not really clearly explained in the crafting menus, not well enough really that everyone can understand it, because most red is missing from the colour dyes, so it isn't very clear how to make all of these. And to get blue, to get green as well, aren't there, and yellow to get in flowers. To make the wool, all you need is either wool or 4-string to make the white wool, because that's what you'll use to make all of these with. And once you've got all your wool ready and all your stuff ready, then you're ready to go. To get green wool, you will require cactus. And then what you will have to do with the cactus is this. Get your cactus, get your coal, get your furnace, put the cactus in, put the coal in, and watch as you get your dye for wool. Now, this is a little challenge I set myself for this tutorial, so that it'll make it slightly more interesting. It's not that much more complicated, to be honest. All I've got to do is put them in shade order, so the darkest would be black, the lightest would be white. But the problem with this is it actually hasn't got enough space for all the wool. So some of the wool that you can't craft won't be on this, like black and grey, which you've got to require on sheep, being that colour to get it. So as we can see here, we're just going to stop this because we don't need it, like so. And now we've got some green dye. That's how you make green dye. Yellow dye, I will show you. And red dye, I will show you. Red dye and yellow dye, slightly different to the other games, whereby yellow dye, you need flowers. So there you go, I've got 10 from 5. There, I put it in with the rest of our stuff that I've already got. Mushrooms, you have to put 5 red mushrooms in to get your, or not 5, but you have to put red mushrooms in to basically get your red dye. That's why it's not in the crafting menu, because you don't craft it, you'd rather, you cook it. So yeah, what we're going to do first, since we're waiting, is we're going to look in here and we're going to place ourselves the white wool on. So, the white wool, done. Okay, 1 wool down. So it's probably definitely the lightest one we've got. Let's go in here, get rid of the cactus because we don't need it. First ones we can make while we're waiting then will be, we'll do them in order in fact. Let's make it slightly more interesting. We will do each one in the order that the dye is created. But first of all, we need to make ourselves red wool and yellow wool there, green wool, blue wool. Okay, so the first one we want to make is light blue wool. Light blue wool comes from lapis and bone meal. That's how you make light blue wool. So, light blue dye, sorry, excuse me. So there you go, we get to light blue dye. Click on it, we get 2. We get ourselves our wool. We go back into the crafting menu. You go down to the wool, and you basically, now you've got 1 light blue wool. Here it is, the comparison. Boom, there it is, light blue wool. White, light blue, white, light blue. Okay, that's clear enough. Let's get our red mushrooms out now, and we'll put them all back in here now as red dye. The next one on the list, if I am not mistaken, is blue wool. Blue wool only requires 1 lapis and 1 wool. So get your blue wool and click on it like so. There we go. As you can see, different to light blue. Blue, light blue, white. Blue, light blue, white. Okay, so moving on. The next one that we need to make, if we go into our little cheeky crafting menu we've got here, is cyan. Cyan is a mixture of green and lapis. And also you need the wool to craft it. So, going in here, click on this, we go down, we get cyan. And then we go down to this and click on the cyan wool. Cyan wool is my favourite wool by far at the moment. As you can see, it's a really nice colour. So you got cyan, blue, light blue and white. These are the main blue coloured ones. As you can see from this yourself, the next one on the list is green, which requires only green dye, white wool, mixing it together makes green dye, green wool. Okay, so there is green wool. Ta-da, green, ta-da. So, to make light green, if you've been following the pattern, will be bone meal, green, and the wool. So, clicking down on the list, we go down to light green, and which is now lime, and we go to this, and we make ourselves the lime wool. Lime wool. Here it is, bit lighter than the green, as you can tell, it's a bit darker green. So, yep. Next one on the list we are going for is magenta. Which magenta requires you to have, let me think about this, red, blue and bone meal. So we got red, we get our blue, we get our bone meal, and we get the wool. So we're just going to sleep if we can. Not yet, obviously a bit early. But I'm just keeping this ahead of us so we know what we're doing. So first of all, we're going to make the dye. So we want to make magenta, was it? We need 2 red for magenta, which is unusual. I can't remember if it was or not. But it was 2 red for magenta, 1 blue and 1 bone meal. Next down the list, get to magenta. Click on it and we made magenta. Here it is, magenta. Next of all, we're going to sleep because we can. Because we're in survival and not creative where it is always day. That's where it actually helps. So we're going to move back to the list. Now we've got quite a few of them already there. The next one on our list that we're going to have to make is, going down into the wrong place again, orange. Orange, I believe, is going to be, let's have a quick guess at this. I can't remember, but it is yellow and red. 1 red, 1 yellow. So 1 red, put the pink away. 1 red, 1 yellow, and 1 wool. So we can craft it this way because we're clever. And we go to orange, and we go to orange wool. Now, we're halfway down the list, near enough now, and here's orange wool, which is most commonly used in the proper Minecrafts in things like desert temples. That is where you'll see orange wool fairly often. The next wool down our list, once we put the orange wool away, will be pink wool, which I believe is just red and bone meal. And if we're not careful, we might run out of bone meal here, and then I'll probably just have to explain the rest to you guys, which if it does happen, I am sorry, but mushrooms are rare in this game, so yeah. So the next one on our list, if we'd remember to pick up some wool, would have been pink. Let's just put a lot of wool in our inventory now. So moving on to pink, we want to go down to the list and get ourselves pink wool. Now I'm definitely going to tell you now that we are going to run out of purple wool, the red dye, to make all the dyes. But what I'm going to tell you now is I don't think I've got any more spare, which is a shame. But I'm going to show you to make red wool, which is also on the list, but I can't make it right now, is red and wool. And obviously you need your mushrooms to grow that, and to make mushrooms grow you need to put them in a dark place and grow them. Also you could just open a nether reactor core, which is slightly more complicated, but one of the unusual ones I wanted to show you how to make is purple, which is just a combination of blue and red. So now that we've got the blue and the red, we go down to purple dye, we click in it, and we get ourselves the purple wool. Now as you can see, purple wool is pretty dark. It's a nice colour. It's quite bright if you compare it to the others. As you can see, the darkest one here is definitely the green. And one of the next ones we would have made is red, but a shame that we don't have it because we've run out of red dye because we made so much pink dye. We didn't really want to, but we didn't get much of a choice. The next one on our list is yellow dye. Yellow wool, should I say. And yellow wool is at the bottom here. So there you go, got yellow wool. And the final 2 wools, which you want to also add on to this list, is black and grey, along with red, of course. So I have 1 black and 1 grey, which have been carefully prepared in this world for a long time now. So there's grey, and here is black. So there is all of the colours but red in the game. So there you go, guys. This has been a tutorial. Comment, like, rate and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye.